Asmat Gurubhyo Namaha, Asmat Parama Gurubhyo Namaha, Asmat Sarva Gurubhyo Namaha. Today we had a request to do something about Visvaksena Puja. I'm going to show you this video. He just chanted Shuklam Bradaram Vishnum Shashivarnam Chitubhujam Prasannavaranam Dhyayet Sarvignopasantaye. Who knows what that is?
I took a Sanskrit class one time, and my teacher used to chant that as a prayer to Lord Visvaksena. But I've also heard.
Who was your teacher? Who was your teacher?
Her name was Swati Mahalakshmi.
Okay, she was a Vaishnava or a Smarta?
I believe she was a Vaishnava. No, she was definitely a Vaishnava.
Okay. Okay, but the thing is, but in South India, many people start with this prayer: Shuklam Bharanam Vishnum Shashivarnam Chitubhujam Prasannavaranam Dhyayet Sarvignopasantaye. Okay, and the Smartas, you see this picture here, Raman Bhatta. He's got his hands folded like this. This is Pranam Mudra, right? Anjali Mudra. It's called Pranam. It's like Pranams. Yeah, you see that? Yeah, see it? Okay. You also see he's wearing a pavitra ring. He's wearing a Kushagrass ring on the ring finger of the right hand. Correct?
Yes.
Okay. He's also wearing pavitras, and he's wearing a turban. You don't have to always wear a turban. And he has a panchakacha, right? He has a dhoti on, full dhoti on, and he has a angavastra wrapped around himself, a chadar wrapped around his waist. Yeah, wearing Yagyopavita. If you look on his back, if you look over here, see on his back, see this is the Yagyopavita?
Yeah. You
see he has turmeric on the Yagyopavita.
Oh.
Okay. That comes because when we do a ceremony, sometimes we put a new Yagyopavita on, and before we put it on, we put on the knots, we put turmeric, and we put some kumkum sometimes. And sometimes when Sri Vaishnavas, when they put tilak on, right, when they finish putting on the Sri Churna, which is either red or yellow, can be turmeric or it can be red kumkum type powder, right? Then when they're finished, they take the knot of the Yagyopavita and they rub it on the knot. Because it represents Sri Devi, let it be on the knot of the Yagyopavita. So here you can clearly see he has turmeric on his Yagyopavita, which means he probably put a new one on. Yeah. Just these are details which you don't know, but I know, which I'm telling you right from the picture. This is in Hyderabad. This was a Kalyanotsavam, wedding of Sita and Ram. So Sita Ram deities are up here, sitting on the throne, and we have a Lakshmana here and a Hanuman somewhere else, different deities. Right now, down below, we have the paraphernalia. Okay, so he's going to perform Visvaksena Puja. How is he going to perform Visvaksena Puja? He's going to invoke Visvaksena into this kurcha. This is a kurcha. Can you see when I move the arrow? Yeah, see me moving the arrow? Raghunath.
Yes, Swami.
Yes, I can see it.
Okay, so this is the kurcha, in which, so you get a plate, you put some rice on it, or paddy, right? Normally, sometimes they'll say paddy. They'll say to you, get paddy and place the pot or place whatever it is on paddy, like that. So paddy actually technically means unhusked rice, yeah? But normally, if you get the unhusked rice, they'll say, no, just get plain rice. So they just get the plain rice, put it there. On top of the rice, you see he put a betel leaf. Yeah? Put a betel leaf. There's probably some betel nuts there too sitting around there. But anyway, he's got the kurcha there. Now, don't ask me how many. We have to look up and see exactly how many kushagrass blades are tied in this particular kurcha for Visvaksena. I'm not sure. We can look it up or we can ask somebody. But then here we have some more things here which he's going, some more items here, which he's going to use. He's got this mushti, darba mushti. Darba mushti means just a bunch of kusha grass. Got a bunch of kusha grass, which they might use for touching the kumbha in Punyavachanam. Got flowers here. Got 2 coconuts that have been covered with turmeric. Notice that the coconuts, what are coconuts called by Sri Vaishnavas? We call them Shripala. We call them Lakshmi fruit. Shripala. Okay? So they're auspicious, very auspicious fruits. Vishwamitra tried, Lord Brahma made a human being. Vishwamitra wanted to become a Brahma Rishi, so he wanted to prove he was as good as Brahma, so he wanted to try and make a human being. Instead of making a human being, all he could make was a head. So that was the coconut. So he made a coconut, and Brahma said, it's okay, you didn't make a human being, but you made a coconut, but that's a very good thing. If anybody drinks the water or eats the fruit from inside this coconut that you made, he'll become a very intelligent person, okay? So the coconut is a very useful fruit, also used in puja for another reason, right? When we crack the coconut, and the coconut should be cracked, mostly in South India, the coconut should be cracked inside the temple by the priest, just at the side of the Garbhagriha, just at the side of the deity house, right? So in the temple, he cracks it. See, there are other places like in Kerala, they have a special stone, looks like a gravestone, sort of sticking out of the ground, and a pit next to it. And people throw the coconuts at the stone and break it outside. In Tirupati, they have some stones sitting on the ground outside the Dwajastambha, outside the temple, and they have like a ridge like this on the stone, so it's very hard. You can crack the coconut and open it and offer it like that. The important thing about the coconut is very auspicious. You can crack it. Once you crack it, there's water inside it, and the water washes the fruit before you offer it. So it's ready to offer, right? So when we're offering some other fruits, what other fruits we got here? Bananas, right? In Tamil, that's called valaipalam, right? That's a banana. There's many different types of bananas, of course, in India, like that. Normally, when we offer bananas, when we offer a coconut, we'll crack a coconut. It'll wash itself. We'll offer 1 coconut or 2 halves of a coconut, right? You might take a coconut to a temple, they crack it, they open it, they might put some flowers and tulsi inside the coconut, and then they'll offer it like that. Okay, so, but the banana, what will they do with the banana? Whenever you offer a fruit, whenever you offer fruit, you have to break the fruit a little bit. So normally, like we're used to, we get a fruit, we completely peel it, and we cut it up, and we put it on a nice plate, and we offer it to the deity, right? But in South India, sometimes things happen in pujas you have to do very quickly. So when you offer a fruit, you can't just take a crate of oranges and place them in front of a deity and offer it without breaking the skin of the fruit. The reason for breaking the skin of the fruit, if you have time, you can peel it completely, put it on a nice plate or whatever. But if you don't have time, you just make a break in the skin of the fruit, and that indicates that you've offered it. Because later on, you got a banana, a full banana there, and you've got a banana with the ends broken off it. You know that the ones that you broke off the end, those are offered. So just to make a distinction, because you want to know what's offered and what's not offered. So he's got some bananas there. He's going to use those for offers. He's got another kurcha there. Maybe he's going to use that for his Vasudeva Punyavachanam, which he's going to do after Visvaksena Puja. He'll use that for putting in the kumbha, in the pot. Here he's got the flowers. He's got flowers for use in puja. Somebody else will give him some incense. Over here he's got some akshata, which means rice mixed with either turmeric or kumkum. Yeah, akshata. The word akshata means unbroken. So one time I did a puja in Florida, and the Indians I said to them, can you get me some akshata? So those people got a bunch of rice, and they sorted all the rice grains, and they only gave me the ones that were completely unbroken, because their idea was akshata means unbroken, and therefore we should only give you the unbroken full grains, like that. I had some left over from a previous puja in a dish, So when they gave it to me, I mixed it in. So they were really upset because, like, what is it? We spent hours, you know, sorting out all the grains, and then you just dumped it in with your leftover, you know, akshata, which is some of it's broken, some of it's not. I had to explain to them that, look, it's okay. It means akshata means unbroken, but really people don't go to that trouble normally people don't go to that trouble of separating it out. Okay, so in order to make the rice, who knows? In order to make the rice colored, what do you do to the rice? Who knows?
Mix it with turmeric.
Mix it with turmeric, but if you get plain white rice and plain turmeric powder and mix them together, it doesn't become very yellow.
Mix a little bit of water into it?
You can mix a little bit of water, correct. Now, when you're doing mandalas, right, you might want to mix a little bit of ghee or a little bit of oil. And that way the color, if you want to make different colored rice and make for different mandalas and things, like the Chakrabja mandala is a very famous mandala for Pancharatra, or in for instance, in Gaudiya Vaishnavism, they have a Sarvatobhadra mandala. In North India, they use a Sarvatobhadra mandala. There are many mandalas, okay? And you make them, normally people make them with colored rice. You can also make them with colored powders. It's harder. It's easier to make them with colored rice, okay? All right, so anyway, getting back to that. So here he's got some different tins. They've got kumkum, turmeric, and they've got akshata, and they probably have something else there. But these are all what we call, these are items that you might use to make things auspicious by touching them or adding. When you offer after you offer like chandan or something like that, you in puja, you might know that when you say haridra kumkuma churnam, you can offer haridra kumkuma churnam. Haridra churnam means powder. Haridra means turmeric. Kumkuma means the red turmeric, right? Kumkum is actually turmeric. If you get turmeric and you squeeze a lemon over it or add some lime to it, it'll turn red.
With a little bit of baking soda.
Yeah, baking soda or lemon juice, whatever it is, it turns red. Okay,
yeah. Like
that. So the really good. If you go to South India, there's a brand of kumkum called Gopuram kumkum, and it comes in a little thing and it has a Gopuram on the front, which is a temple
that's
tower.
The kind I get.
Yeah, if you open that up, that's the real thing. That's actually made from kumkum, from turmeric made to kumkum. Okay, so anyhow, so this turmeric and kumkum are auspicious items. They have to do with Lakshmi, and so therefore they're added to certain things. Like when you decorate a pot, you put some chandan on the outside, and you might put chandan first, and then put some turmeric, and then put some kumkum on top, right? Like a big dot of chandan, a little bit of smaller dot of turmeric, and a smaller dot of kumkum on the four sides of the pot, or whatever it is, or on something. It just makes it auspicious. So this is in Sanskrit. So we can just offer kumkum and turmeric in the puja. Sometimes we offer it for the goddesses, because the goddesses use it more than the gods. For the gods, we can offer urvapundram, or we can offer some tilak or something like that. For the goddesses, we can offer haridra kumkuma churnam samarpayami. Samarpayami means I offer to you. Okay, so you should all know that, but if you don't know that, I'm explaining. So haridra kumkuma churnam samarpayami, we're going to offer Shrim Shriye Namaha to Lakshmi. Okay, so then also when we offer the chandanam, we will say chandanam samarpayami, or we can say haridra gandasya upari, on top of the ganda means sandalwood paste, gandasya upari haridra kumkuma churnam samarpayami, right? So in puja, when you offer gandam, you say gandam samarpayami, I offer chandan to you, right? And you put chandan on the Lord in certain places, and the goddess in certain places, right? And then on top of the chandan, you might offer turmeric and kumkum. So when
Sorry for interrupting, Swami.
yeah,
What are those places? Because I see that Sri Vaishnavas, they do put chandan on different parts of the body of the deity. So like if we're worshipping the kumbha, or even a deity,
yeah,
where do we put the chandan? I just put only on the coconut. But are there other places that you would put?
yeah. It depends. Like if it's in an abhishekam, you might want to put it on the shankha and chakra, on the chest, or there's different places you put the wherever you put the chandan, you can put on top of the chandan, you can put the turmeric and the kumkum. So I'm just explaining that the mantra for putting turmeric and kumkum on top of chandan, you can offer it separately to the goddesses, turmeric and kumkum. But when you're offering it on top of chandan, you say gandasyo pari, haridra kumkuma churnam samarpayami. Right? Okay. So we have to look. It depends on what you're doing, because obviously, if the Lord is wearing all sorts of clothes and things, you don't want to put the chandan and the turmeric and the kumkum on the clothes, but you put it on the feet. You put it on exposed areas, obviously. So, for bhaktas, like we put bhaktas, we put prasadi. We call these things prasadi things. They're prasadam. Well, after we offer them to the Lord, they're prasadam. So the chandan for instance, when we offer chandan to the Lord, they offer different types of chandan. They'll offer thick chandan. They might make into balls. Then, like Tirupati Balaji, they put 2 big balls of chandan on his feet at night. Balls, so it has to be sort of thick to make it into a ball. Then it's a little bit thinner than that. It's smeared on different parts of the deity's body. Normally, it's the feet. For God, could also be the hand for the goddess, like we attach a tulsi leaf to Radha's hand or to one goddess's hand to offer to, or to the guru's hand or something like that in Gaudiya Vaishnavism. We don't usually put on the head. On the head, there's a tilak, which is either made of musk or it could be stuck on with beeswax, a Sri Vaishnava tilak or a different type of tilak, depending on the sampradaya. But anyhow, so the chandan, then there's also this liquid chandan. Sometimes when there's an abhishek, there's liquid chandan, which is poured on the deity, or sometimes they'll make with chandan, they'll make a crown, they'll make earrings, they'll make different things, and they'll pack chandan on the deity. And if you don't have chandan, if it's too expensive, what they do is they mix turmeric with water and make it like a dough, and then pack it on the deity. I have a very nice abhishek like that where I can show you where they do that. And after it's all packed on, then they do an abhishek and it all washes off. It's very nice. So you might do pack chandan all over the deity, and then in certain places you might put dots of turmeric and kumkum. So when you're offering on top of chandan, you say gandasyo pari. When you don't say gandasyo pari. Gandasyo pari means on top of the ganda. Gandasya, of the ganda, of the chandan, opari, upari. Gandasyo pari, on top of the chandan. Haridra kumkuma churnam samarpayami. Okay, so moving on, right? So he's got some of these samagris here. Now he also has here, this is the panchapatras that he's going to use. So you notice there's only 3. He's not using 5. When we say panchapatra, we mean 5 vessels. What are the 5 vessels in Sri Vaishnava Puja? The 5 vessels in Sri Vaishnava Puja are usually arranged, 1 in each corner and 1 in the middle, right? 1 in each corner and 1 in the middle. So you have, first of all, Argya, then Padya, then Achmaniya, then Shnaniya, then Sudodaka or Sarvata Toyam in the middle. What are they? Argya is water for washing the hands. It's also used when we offer doing parisechanam before we offer the food to the Lord. Padya is water for washing his feet. Achmaniya is water for offering to his mouth. Let me just see if there's more people waiting to get in here. Yeah, Sundar is waiting. Okay. Achmaniya is water for washing his mouth, like we do Achmana. And then so Arghya Padya, Achmaniya, and Shnaniya. Shnaniya is water for bathing. After the bathing is over, usually you dump out all the Panchapatras again and you fill them up again. In the beginning of puja, the first thing you do is you wash the vessels, the 5 vessels. You do that by Virasraya Pat, Virasraya Pat, Virasraya Pat, like that, right? You put a drop. You have what we call a Tirtha Kaveri. A Tirtha Kaveri means a gindi or a spouted water pot. It doesn't have to be spouted, but it's nice if it's spouted, useful. And you get water in that. You get either sacred water. Most Hindus, they'll use Ganga water, or they'll pour the holy rivers, all the holy rivers into that water. Sri Vaishnavas tend to like to use either Kaveri water instead of Ganga water, or they use Viraja water. And the way to do Viraja, how do you get Viraja water? What is Viraja? Viraja is the river between the material and spiritual world. So when Lord Vamana became a Trivikram avatar, he kicked a hole in the top of the universe. His toe went through the opening in the universe, and that river, a little bit of that river, that Viraja river, you can also call it the Karnadak Ocean, the causal ocean. That a little bit of that seeped in, and that fell down on the earth, and that became the Ganges. Okay, that's the Puranic story. So that is Viraja water. Viraja water is pure. Why do Sri Vaishnavas want Viraja water and not Ganga water? Who knows? Anybody know? Okay. The reason is because the Ganga comes down, but it comes down at such a big force that Shiva had to stop the force with his head. So the Ganga came down on Shiva's head first before it hit the earth. Otherwise, it would have destroyed the earth with the force. That's the Puranic story. So whenever you see a deity of Shiva, you see a little head of a lady popping out from the top of his head. That's Ganga. So any deity of Shiva, any proper deity of Shiva, there'll be a Ganga Devi looking out from the top of his hair. And so the Ganges came down and hit the top of Shiva. So it's coming from the foot of Vishnu down onto the top of Shiva. Now, so anybody tries to tell you that Shiva is supreme, just tell them, okay, but how come water is coming off Vishnu's foot onto his head? Immediately you win the argument. Vishnu is supreme, right? Because I was in Varanasi. I was in Varanasi one time, and Varanasi is a big Shiva place. And the main thing in Varanasi is the Ganga and Shiva, right? So I was at one restaurant. The guy who owned the restaurant was a big Shaivite. So he came over because he saw the tilak, and he started talking to me about Vaishnavism. And he said, yeah, but Shiva is more supreme than Vishnu. And I said, no. You got it wrong. He goes, no. He said, look at Rameshwaram. In South India, there's a place called Rameshwaram. Before Rama went to Lanka to save Sita, he prayed to Lord Shiva, to Shiva in Rameshwaram, the lingam in Rameshwaram. Lord Rama made a prayer, right? It's called Rameshwaram, Rama Ishvara, the God of Rama, the Lord of Rama, Rama Ishvara. Shiva is the God of Rama. So he's making all these arguments to me. I said, okay, in Leela, Lord Narayana comes and he acts as a human being, and maybe he does some puja like this before he goes to Lanka. Okay, it doesn't mean that he is the servant of Shiva. I said, tell me this: if Shiva is really greater than Rama, how come Vishnu's foot goes through the universe and the water drops down? The water from Vishnu's foot comes on Shiva's head. Who's supreme now? I mean, in India, if anything comes off your foot and goes onto somebody else, that you're better than that person. I mean, the lowest part of Vishnu's body, the water comes off onto Shiva's head. So he shut up after that. There's no argument about that. Okay, so anyway, the point is, The point is that Sri Vaishnavas, after the water has come onto Shiva's head, then it comes down onto the earth and it's the Ganga. So normal Hindus, they think, oh, Ganga is very sacred because it comes from the toe of Vishnu. But Sri Vaishnavas, because they're so staunch Vaishnavas, they say, yeah, it came from Vishnu, so it's pure, but then it touches Shiva, so we'd rather have it before it touches Shiva. We don't want to take it after it touches Shiva and then put it back on Vishnu. Right? Coming from the foot of Vishnu onto Shiva and then putting it back on Vishnu. Sorry, we don't want to do that. So what we want is we want the water which is more pure because it hasn't touched Shiva. So we want it to come from the source, the Viraja. So what they do is they take a spoon, you take a spoon, or you take the whole pot even, that you have all the water in. You take a spoonful of the water and you put your hand over the top of it, right? Hold it up to the nose level, and you count. You count the mantras when you chant. So you chant 7 times, and you count. So you go, Om Namo Narayana, Om Namo Narayana, Om Namo Narayana, Om Namo Narayana, right? Right, Om Namo Narayana, Om Namo Narayana, Om Namo Narayana, Om Namo Narayana, which is your Mula mantra that you're using in your puja. Whatever the Mula mantra is, you say it 7 times. And then the last time, when your last finger comes down, you say, Om Vim Virajaye Namaha. Om Vim Virajaye Namaha. Virajaya means unto the Viraja. I offer my respects to Viraja, and therefore I want the Viraja to come into this water and make the water absolutely pure, even more pure than Ganges water, even more pure than the sacred rivers, right? So when you're doing many pujas, you will call the sacred rivers Gange Chaya, Muni Chaya, Godavari, Saraswati, Nabri, Sindhakavadi, Jalismin, Sanidam, Kuru, please come here, right? There's also a mantra for bringing all the tirthas together to come into the water. Yeah, you can do that. There's no problem doing that like that. I'm just telling you specifically in Sri Vaishnava Puja, they scrub all that and they just get the water from the actual source, the Viraja. Okay, so he's going to get the water from the Viraja. Now, what you do after you do that, after you've made that water in the thing, then you sprinkle yourself with the water first. You take some and you sprinkle it on yourself, on your body, because you have to be pure to do anything, to make anything else pure. You can't make other things pure if you're not pure, right? If you want to clean the deity paraphernalia, you cannot clean it until you go take a bath. First of all, you take a bath, then you go and purify something else. So you, first of all, sprinkle on yourself. Consider yourself pure. You should have already done Buddha Shuddhi, by the way, okay? You should have already done Buddha Shuddhi. You should already have had a bath, put on fresh clothes, put on tilak, remembered the Guru Parampara. You should also have said Achamana twice, washed your feet. All these things you should have done, okay? These are all physical things. Then you should have done Buddha Shuddhi and completely destroyed your material body and recreated it in a pure way, okay? After finishing that, you've called the Viraja River into the water, and the first thing you do with that water is sprinkle it on yourself, purify yourself. After you purify yourself, then you're going to sprinkle that water on the Panchapatras and the other paraphernalia too. Everything that you brought in a puja, you're going to sprinkle that water, that Viraja water, on everything. You have a little bit left over in the spoon. If you didn't do it in the whole pot by holding the pot up, you hold up the spoon. If you have a little bit left over, then you just take that little bit and put it in the pot. Put it in the spouted water pot. Put it in the top of what we call Tirukavari, and then you've got a whole lot of Viraja River water, completely pure water. That water is what you're going to now purify. Now you've sprinkled on the Panchapatras, on the 5 patras. Now you have to actually add some water to the patras, right? So you take that indi, that spouted water pot, and with the mantra Viryaya Astraya Pate, right? You add 1 drop from that to each of the Panchapatras. You pick up the Panchapatras one at a time with your right hand, swirl that water around, and throw that water in the throw-out pot and put it down. Now you have washed all the 5 Panchapatras. right? Then the next thing you do is you have to place different samagris in the Panchapatras. Each patra has I won't go over it today, but each patra, the argya, the padya, the achmaniya, and the shnaniya, right? They have different things that go inside them. Yeah? So you have to first put it. If you don't have those things, then you can just put a tulsi leaf. Put a tulsi leaf or a flower petal in each. So the mantra for that is Hridayaya Namaha. Put it in the heart. Hridayaya Namaha. So Hridaya Namaha, Hridaya Namaha, Hridaya Namaha, Hridaya Namaha, Hridaya Namaha, Hridaya Namaha. 5 times. Then fill up with water. Fill it up with water. You put the ingredients in. Now you have to fill it up. Fill it up with water. Shirase Swaha. Shirase Swaha. You take the spouted water pot and you fill each one by one. The argya, the padya, the achmaniya, the shnaniya. Right. If it's after bath, you're going to make a different one. Instead of shnaniya, you're going to make. It doesn't come to me right now, but you're going to make another one. You're not going to fill up a shnani again. There's that fifth patra is optional. It's shnaniya before shnanasanam. After shnanasanam, it's used for something else. Anyway, okay. So you're going to fill up shirase swaha. After you fill it up, then you're going to establish each one's purpose. You establish each one's purpose by taking your right hand and holding it on top of each one of those things, and you say the Mula mantra Om Namo Narayanaya, Argyam Parikalpayami. Parikalpayami means I establish you. I establish this pot as the Argya pot. I establish this pot as the Padya pot. I establish this pot as the Achmaniya pot. I establish this pot as the Shnaniya pot. I establish this pot as either the Sudodaka or Sarvata Toyam. Usually there are these two names. Sarvata Toyam means, Toyam means water. Sarvata means all-purpose water. So the one in the middle is called all-purpose water. It can also be called Shuddhodaka, purifying water or pure water. So either you can say Shuddhodaka Patram, Shuddhodakam Parikalpayami or Sarvata Toyam Parikalpayami, right? You establish that. What I do in my...
Shuddhodaka? Sorry, huh? I'm just trying to get the Shuddhodaka. How do you spell that?
Shuddha, Udaka. Shuddha, Udaka becomes Shuddhodaka. Shuddha. S with an acute accent, U-D-D-H-A, plus Udaka. Udaka, U-D-A-K-A, Udaka. Becomes Shuddhodaka. The A and the U ending and beginning the two words join together and make an O. That's a Sandhi. Very simple. Shuddhodaka. Okay. So Shuddhodaka or Sarvata Toyam. Now, normally what I do is the one in the middle for me is Sarvata Toyam, and then I have a separate Panchapatra nearby, which I just use in case I touch my face, I have to wash my hand or something like that, or I have to say Achman again if I sneeze, whatever it is, right? And that one I call Shuddhodaka. So I have both. I establish both the Shuddhodaka and the Sarvata Toya and the Shuddhodaka. But anyhow, you can just do one. All right, so you have these 5 Panchapatras. Now, the reason I'm telling you this is because he has 3. So we're going to see, he's not going to use 5, but what he's going to do is he's going to use 3, but he's still going to offer all the different items, the 16 upacharas or services of regular puja, but he's just going to use 3. One of them he's going to use one of them he's using as a throw out, and the other 2 is basically you could probably use 2. You can probably just use 2. You have one with a spoon in it and the other one for throwing out. Right? You need a Visarjana. You need in Sri Vaishnava parlance it's called a pela. Yeah? But Visarjana, you need a Visarjaniya patra, a throw-out pot. And you need one pot, which is an all-purpose pot, Sarvata Toyam, offering water for all different things like that. Now, how do you offer? In Gaudiya Sampradaya, they offer Padya first. In Sri Vaishnava Sampradaya and Pancharatra, they offer Argya first. So, in Sri Vaishnava Sampradaya, normally they offer Arghya first, right? So it goes Arghya, Padya, Achmaniya. And they offer it many times in all the different sections of the puja. Arghya, Padya, Achmaniya. Arghya, Padya, Achmaniya. Arghya once, Padya twice, Achmaniya 3 times, right? So you offer 1 spoonful of Arghya, 2 spoonfuls of Padya. Why? Because you've got 2 feet, right? Deity has 2 feet, right? He has 2 hands too. So don't ask me why you don't offer 2 Arghyas. But anyway, Arghya once, Padya twice, and 3 spoons for Achmaniya, which is like when you say Achmaniya, you sip 3 times water. Okay? And there's different ways to offer these things. Padya you can offer onto the feet, or you can offer to the feet and throw in the throw out pot, throw in the Visarjana. Arghya you can offer to the hands, right? To one hand, the right hand, or to both hands, or you can just offer it to the hands and put it in the pot. So you can pour it over the hands, or you can just offer it and throw it in the throw out. Okay, normally we're doing it quickly, so we're just throwing it in the throw out. It's all getting thrown in the throw out, and we're not really offering it on the deity or next to the deity or to the deity. Now, if we're in a deity room and we have a deity there, or if the deity is doing an abhishek or something like that, we can actually put it on the deity's feet, or we can, pour it over these hands. Possible. Okay, so achmana. How do you offer achmana to a deity? Most people will say you take the spoon and you put it up to the mouth of the deity, right? Like a baby, like you're feeding the baby. Yeah? Maybe that's one way. Another way would be put it to his hand. Take the achman, take the spoon, the udarni, which is a spoon, udarni means spoon, take a spoonful of water and offer it to the Lord's right hand. Why? Because when you have a yajamana there, and the yajamana has to do, your sponsor in a puja, he has to do puja, you're going to say to him, do achmana. If he knows how to do achmana, he'll do it. But if mostly they don't know how to do anything, so you just say, put your right hand out, and you put some water in his right hand, and you say a mantra, and you have him sip it. Right? That's the easiest way. Right? So just put your right hand out. Show how do you hold your hand for achmana? Who knows? Anybody know? Okay, it's called Gokarna Mudra. Whoops. This is what it looks like. Those people who are not attending, you will not be able to see this. Okay, here comes somebody else, Vishwanath. Okay. So Gokarna Mudra looks like this. What is this? You take your right hand, fold down the tarjini. This is called tarjini. Who knows the different names of the fingers in Sanskrit? Who knows? Anybody? Okay. This is who knows? This is anybody? Okay. So what a thumb is called angusta. Angusta. So we go from
Angustavyam namaha.
Okay. Who's talking? Yeah, you know. Okay, good. Okay, so Sundarvar is saying angustabhyam.
Yes.
Why is it? But angusta is one thumb. Angustabhyam means two both thumbs.
Yeah.
Two thumbs. Yeah. So angustabhyam namaha, tarjinibhyam namaha, madhyamabhyam namaha, namikabhyam namaha, kanistikabhyam namaha, katsarakalapristabhyam namaha. He's speaking about nyasa, okay? This is called karanyasa, okay? So placing of the syllables on different parts of the hands. Okay, but let's understand, first of all, the names of the fingers. Angusta, tarjini. Angusta means the root finger. The root. It's the root of the hand, right? So angusta. Tarjini means cursing finger. Tarjini means cursing finger, right? It's the finger you use for cursing. Don't ever point this finger at anybody in India or any Indians. They'll get upset, okay? Because it's like you're blaming them, you're cursing them, you're angry with them, okay? It's not good. Don't do it, okay? When you see the Dwarapalakas, Jaya and Vijaya, who are the Dwarapalakas? Chan Prachan, Bal Prabal, Bala Prabala. Data Vidata, Jaya Vijaya. Okay, these are the 8 gatekeepers of Vishnu in Vaikuntha, right? And who the front gate is Chand and Prachand, and Jaya and Vijaya are actually the back door. They're at the back door. So when the Kumaras came, they came to the back door. They were trying to get in the back door. Okay, so it's a little sneaky, trying to get in the back door. That's probably why they were excluded. Anyway, so there are these different Dwapalikas, and the Dwapalikas, the iconography of Dwapalikas, whether it's Shaivite, Shaktite, or Vaishnava, all Dwapalikas have their finger like this. Beware, watch out, step back. We are the security guys, and that's why they have their fingers like this. They have a mudra like this using the Tarjani. Beware, right? Tarjani means blaming finger or cursing finger. So they have their fingers like that. Even the ones for goddesses, they have female deities, and they have their finger like that. Watch out. Anyway, so that's the reason for that. Okay, so Angusta, thumb, Tarjani, cursing finger, Madhyama, the middle finger. There's two on that side and there's 2 on the other side. So the middle one, the longest one, right? The middle one is called the Madhyama. Madhyama means middle, right? Then you have the little one, is called the Kanista. So you understand this? Kanista, Madhyama, right? You got that? So the Kanista is the small one. The Madhyama is the middle one. Okay, there's only one left. It's the ring finger, the one we put the ring on, the Kushagrass ring, right? We can put it on both hands if you want, but mostly on the right hand. Okay, so that one, the ring finger, what's that called? Because that's the last finger. All the other fingers have some name. That one is called Anamika. It has no name. Some people call it the Pavitra finger. So it can be called Pavitra finger, but in Nyasa, we say Anamika Bhyam Namaha. Obeisances to the 2 nameless fingers. The 2 nameless fingers, right? So it's called Anamika. Okay, so we have those 5 fingers, right? What was my point in talking about fingers? Okay, so...
Mudra. The mudra for Achmana.
The mudra for Achamana involves the right hand, and it's called Gokarna Mudra. So Gokarna Mudra, first of all, you take the Tarjani, and you bend it down. And you take the Angusta, so you take the index finger and touch it and fold it down, put the thumb on top and connect like this. If you do that, the other 3 fingers together, that is the ear of a cow. Maybe I should unshare the thing so people can see.
No, if anyone is watching, you can tap on your video, on your face, and we can see in big size.
I can
Yes.
tap.
No.
What do
other
I do?
people can.
Other people can.
People can. Yeah.
When they're watching the video, they can tap on it. Okay.
I tap on your image, on your video, and it goes big, and the other image goes small.
Oh, okay. I didn't know that. Okay.
Yeah,
All right.
Yeah, but for the sake of the video, though, I think it makes more sense for him to make the screen big because
for the other people,
the video, you can't tap on the video.
Yeah.
Okay. Anyway, it doesn't matter.
Yeah,
We'll have another.
We'll
have another discussion about mudras some other time. Yeah. Anyway, that's the Gokarna mudra, and the reason for that is that's a really good mudra if you want to keep a lot of liquid there. That really makes a thing where you can keep a lot of liquid. Unfortunately, the pramana in Shastra for taking Achamana is that you're only supposed to take the amount of water that can cover an urd dal or a mung dal. Yeah. So, but the Sri Vaishnavas have a different pramana, a different way of interpreting that, meaning you can take more water. So you take that much water, you take a bunch of water to start with. Then, if you go by Hari Bhakti Vilas, when you sip the water, you should actually change the way to this. Whoa. You should change it to this. That with the little finger excluded and the thumb excluded and these three fingers together at an angle, and that is where you should keep the water and take the water. According to Hari Bhakti Vilas, I'll give you the pramana later, okay? Then, okay, so if we're doing that, and then of course you have to sip it from the Brahma Tirtha. Who knows the different tirthas of the hand? This is called the middle of the palm is called the Agni Tirtha. Why is it called the Agni Tirtha? Because Agni means fire, and the middle part of your palm is the hottest part of your palm. It's the warmest part. I guess the most blood flowing through there. So if you feel it, the other parts of your hand are less hot. That's hot there. So when we put the water there, not only do we purify the water by chanting the names of the Lord, Om Keshavachari Namaha or Om Achyutaya Namaha, whatever name that you're going to chant, right? But we also purify it by the heat of the hand, which is Agni. Yeah? Okay. So then it's sipped through the Brahma Tirtha. There's a different ways of the water can leave the hand. So if the water comes out this end, right, it's either for Brahma or for us, right? In Achamana or in Brahmana, if we're offering Brahma Tarpana, it has to come out here, right? If it comes out across, up the fingers, out that way, this is called the Deva Tirtha. Deva Tirtha, for the Devas, if you're offering Tarpana to the Devas. If you're offering Tarpana to the Rishis, right, it has to go this way, and for the Pitris, this way. Right? Rishi Tarpana, with two hands, you just open the middle and it goes out through the side here. Rishis, Pitris. So Rishi Tarpana, Rishi Tirtha, Pitri Tirtha, Brahma Tirtha, Deva Tirtha, and Agni Tirtha in the middle. So these different parts of the hand. Okay. All right. So now, okay. So he's going to start doing somebody. He started, let me just make sure I'm seeing everybody. Okay, so I'm going to start the video again because a lot of people just came. I'm going to start the video again, but we're about 8 seconds in, and the first 8 seconds, this is a Visvaksena Puja done by Raman Bhattar. Raman Bhattar is here, everybody can see. And we pointed out the fact that he's wearing Kushgras ring. He has this kurcha in front where he's going to worship Visvaksena on the kurcha. And he's wearing Yagyopavita, which has turmeric on it. It's a brand new one. And he's wearing Panchakacha, Dhoti, and Angavastram. And he's got even a third vastram over his shoulder, which you might use to wipe his hands on. He's wearing a turban like that. And he's doing Anjali Mudra. And he's going to chant a mantra. He's going to chant a prayer at the beginning, which everybody chants. So let's just listen to that prayer again. Okay, that was it. All right. In case you didn't hear that, what he did first, let's see what he did first. Here we go. See what he did? What did he do? He did pranayam. He did a quick pranayam and touched his right ear after the pranayam. Why do you touch your right ear after the pranayam? Because in the right ear is considered to be the holy rivers. So to purify your hand after touching your nose, because it's one of the 9 gates of the body. So after touching one of the 9 gates, you have to purify your hand. So he could have washed his hand, but what people do is after pranayam, they just touch the right ear. Right? What is that called? Who knows what that's called? Somebody must know. Okay, if you don't know, I'll tell you.
Shrodha Achamana.
Shrodha Achamana, very good. Shrodha Achamana. Okay, it's also described in Hari Bhakti Vilas, by the way. Okay, so there's different Achamanas. Mostly we understand the Achamana is sipping of water. But there are times when you can't sip water and you still have to make a prayer. And you can't sip water. It's not there. So you can touch the nose, which is another part where Agni is, because it's warm, and the right ear. Touch the nose and the right ear, and then that's called Srotrachamana. So people often do that. You see Brahmins all over India like that. Sometimes they'll yawn or they'll sneeze, and they'll just touch the right ear, or touch the nose and the right ear. It's called Srotrachamana. Srotra means ear. Shruti means to hear. So Srotra means ear. So Srotra Achamana is Achamana with the ear only, without water, right? So for instance, when you wake up every morning, the first thing you do when you wake up is you say a name of God. You say it 7 times, or at least 7 times you're supposed to say, right? So normally if we read the Padidis of Sri Vaishnavas, wake up, as soon as you become conscious, Hari, 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 Hari. Hari, 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 Hari. Like this, 7 times. And then, because you're chanting the name of God, that's completely pure, that's not a problem, okay, like that. But then you're going to say some other prayers before you get out of bed. And while getting out of bed. And when offering prayers, you should be clean, you should be purified. Offering prayers in an unclean, state, that's an offense, that's an aparada, right? So you don't want to offer prayers in an unclean state, so you touch your ear. You do Srotrachamana in bed, then you can say those prayers. Okay, so this Srotrachamana, he did a pranayam to start with, then he did Srotrachamana. He touched his ear, purified his hands. Then he put his hands together in the Anjali Mudra, which is a prayer position, right? Pranam Mudra or Anjali Mudra, right? Then he said, Shuklam Baradaram Vishnum Shashivarnam Chaturbhujam Prasannavadanam Dhyayet Sarva Vigno Pashantaye. This mantra, we'll go through it, we'll explain what it means, is the normal mantra which we start every puja with, right? When smartas do it, they do a special mudra called Mustika Mudra, which means basically, Mustika is a fist. You make 2 fists. And they take 2 fists and they do this like 4 times. Some of them do this. And what are they doing? They're just like, wake up, get it together, think about what you're going to do, right? But this is actually, that's what I would say. But in South India, is very famous, that when you go before Ganesh, you do some things to make yourself look foolish in front of the deity, and the deity then takes pity on you and gives you blessings, right? Yeah, I'll be finished soon.
10 minutes.
Okay, no problem. Yeah, my lights on. Good. Okay, so we're going to continue this. We'll have to continue this, but anyway, the point is, this we want the deity to give us blessings. So Ganesh is giving the blessings to get rid of all obstacles. So the Smartas say that this is a prayer to Ganesh. The Vaishnavas say it's a prayer to Vishnu. Right? Okay, let's go over the words quickly. So they do this in front of Ganesh. In South India, they do other things too. They do this. They grab their earlobes and they go like this. They make themselves look foolish in front of Ganesh. And he gives blessings to them, clears away all the obstacles, okay? Okay, so anyway, we don't do that. We just put our hands together and pray, because we're praying to, this mantra for us is a prayer to Vishnu, or a prayer to Hayagriva, or maybe even a prayer to Visvaksena, who's going to clear away obstacles. Yeah? Let's go over the Sanskrit of the prayer, and we'll explain what the prayer is and why the Smartas think it's for Ganesh and why the Vaishnavas think it's for Vishnu. Shuklam Baradaram. Shukla means white cloth. Normally, when we pray to Vishnu, we think of him, we meditate him on as having yellow cloth or golden cloth, right? Pitambara, he's called Pitambara. Pita means yellow. So he wears golden cloth or yellow cloth. So as soon as we say Shuklam Baradaram, covered with white cloth, right, we immediately think it's not Vishnu, because he's usually wearing yellow cloth. But he can wear white cloth. So there's nothing against this first line of the sloka for being Vishnu. But they say it's Ganesh. Okay, So Shuklam Bharadram Vishnum. Vishnum is the last word on the first line. Vishnum. That should tell you it's a prayer to Vishnu. Vishnum. Right? Oh Lord Vishnu, covered with white cloth. The smarters, the Advaitins, the Mayavadis, they think it means all-pervading Lord, the person who's everywhere. So they believe that could be Ganesh, that could be Devi, that could be Shiva, that could be a lot of people. So they don't agree that the word Vishnu means Vishnu. Right? So Shuklam Bharadram Vishnum. O Lord Vishnu, covered with white cloth. This is the direct meaning. Shuklam Bharadram Vishnum. Shashi Varnam Chatur Bhujam. Shashi Varnam means you have a dark color. You have a dark color. That sounds like Vishnu to me. Vishnu has a dark color, right? Right? Megashama. He's got a color of a monsoon cloud, right? Shashi Varnam. He's got the dark color. Chatur Bhujam. He has 4 hands. Bhujam means hands or arms, right? And Chatur means 4. Chatur Bhujam. So you have, oh Lord Vishnu, covered with white cloth, with 4 hands, with dark color and 4 hands. Shativanam Chatur Bhujam. Prasannavanam Dhyayet. When I offer my prayers to you, I feel happy. I feel happy when I offer prayers to you. By offering prayers to you, I feel happy, right? Prasanna means I'm satisfied or happy. Vadanam Dhyayet. I'm meditating and offering prayers to you. Sarva Vigna Upashantaye. Sarva Vigna Upashantaye. Upashantaya means go away. Sarva Vigna means all obstacles. Vigna means obstacles. Lord Ganesh is called Vigneshwara, the clearer of obstacles, or the Lord of obstacles. He is the Lord that gets rid of obstacles, vignas. So Sarva means all Sarva Vigna Upashantaye. All the obstacles go away. By meditating and praying to you, all obstacles go away. This is why the smartest say it's Ganesh, because Ganesh is the deity you pray to get rid of obstacles. The Vaishnavas say, no, we worship Lord Vishnu, and he gets rid of the obstacles. That's fine. We think it's Vishnu. So there were 2 guys. There was a smarta and a Vaishnava, and they were arguing about this sloka. Right? A third man came along and he said, actually, there's many different interpretations for this Sanskrit, right? I'll give you 2 more interpretations, right? Because the smarta guy was insisting, no, this means Ganesh. And the Vaishnava was saying, no, it means Vishnu. So the other man came along and said, actually, it can mean many things. Shuklam, but it can be a prayer to a donkey, is what he said. It can be a prayer to a donkey. How can it be a prayer to a donkey? They said. So he said, Shuklam Bharadaram Vishnum. Shuklam, covered with white cloth, covered with white clothes. Right? In India, they have a guy called a dhobi, and he washes your clothes and he brings them back to you, and he has a donkey which carries the clothes when they've been washed. So he said, covered with white cloth. That means a donkey, dhobi's donkey, covered with white cloth. Vishnum. In all the streets, you see them. All the dhobis have the donkeys, and they're bringing the clothes back. Shuklam Bharadaram Vishnum. Shashivarnam. They're dark colored, right? Donkeys is gray, right? Chatur Bhujam. They have 4 legs, right? Right? So I see all the streets, I see donkeys, dark colored donkeys with 4 legs with lots of clothes on top of them, right? When I meditate upon this and pray like this, I feel happy. Prasanna Vadanam Dhyayet. Why? Sarva Vigna Upashante. All my troubles are going away because my laundry is coming back. Yeah? So that's actually one of the meanings of this verse. Okay? He said, not only that, there's another meaning to it. So they were amazed. There's another meaning. The other meaning is, this is a prayer to Dahiwada. Dahiwada. Who knows what Dahiwada is? A wada is a little donut, savory donut. And if you put yogurt on top of it and you eat savory in South India, or in North India, they call it Dahibada. In South India, it's called Dahiwada, right? Dahiwada. It's a really good snack that you have in the morning, okay, with like a savory donut with yogurt on it. Dahi vada. So dahi, yogurt, vada, savory donut. Okay, so it's a prayer to Dahi vada. They said, how is it a prayer to Dahi vada? It's a prayer to Dahi vada because Shuklam Bharadram Vishnum, Shuklam Bharadram, covered with white sauce. Right? Shuklam means white, covered with white. It just says covered with white. Covered with white. Right? Yogurt is white, so it's covered with white. Vishnum. In all the restaurants, they serve it. Right? It's all pervasive. It's everywhere. Everybody eats this. Right? Covered with white sauce. In every place it's eaten. Right? Shuklam Bharadram Vishnum. Shashi Varnam. It's dark colored. Yes, it's dark colored, covered with white yogurt. Shashi Varnam, dark colored. Chatur Bhujam. Yes, you on a plate you can have 4 pieces. 4 pieces on the plate. Right? Shuklam Bharadram Vishnum Shashi Varnam Chatur Bhujam. Prasanna Varanam Dhyayet. When I think about this, when I meditate on Dahi vada, I become happy. Prasanna Varanam Dhyayet. When I think about Dahi vada, I become happy. Why? Because by eating this, all my stomach troubles go away. Because, you know, in India, when you get stomach troubles, they say, take some yogurt. It'll cure you. Oh, yes, have Dahi vada. It'll cure you. So this is a prayer to Dahi vada. So these are the four meanings of this prayer. Okay, so this is the first prayer that everybody learns in any puja. They always start out, if you're smarter, you start out like this. Shuklam Bharadram Vishnam Shajivarnam Chadurbhujam Prasanna Varanam Dhyayet Sarva Vigno Pashantaye, and you think of Ganesh. If you're a Vaishnava, you think of Lord Haigriva, who's going to give you knowledge in order to do the puja, or you think of Lord Vishnu and you chant like this with your hands, and you say Shuklam Bharadram Vishnum Vishnu Sashivarnam Chaturbhujam Prasanna Varanam Dhyayet Sarva Vigno Pashantaye, like that. That's how you start any puja after you do Achamana and Pranayam. And we will continue to do about Visvaksena Puja, and understanding Visvaksena Puja will allow us to understand all sorts of pujas. It'll be like an example to understand it. No need for asana establishment. Okay, I see this in the chat. Vishwanath is asked. Yeah, you can do that also. That's possible. You can do that too. Okay, so we did not talk about establishing the seat before you sit down. A lot of times people don't do that. Maybe they do it when they do japa. But it's possible. It's possible to do that also. And then it just depends on what procedure you're following. It's a good idea, of course. Because if you read in the prayogas, as we were talking yesterday, I was talking to Raghunath, that it usually says Darbashvinaha. It says Dvira Chamya, say Achaman twice, and Darbashvinaha, sit on a Kusha asana. And there are different asanas. That's also covered in Hari Bhakti Vilas. Depending on what sort of result you want, you can, for your japa or something like that, you can sit on different asanas. When you do Purascharya, you're supposed to sit on an asana shaped like a tortoise, like a turtle. And otherwise, there are different, in the Gita, Krishna says deer skin and kusha grass. So normally you have a deer skin, then you put a kusha grass, and then put wool on top of that, and that's a nice one. Some people sit on tiger skin also. Tiger skin gives this mystic cities. Okay, so I don't know if anybody's got a tiger skin, but I used to have a deer skin. You can get those pretty easily in South India. When I went to South Africa to open the ISKCON temple in Durban, they gave us deer skins. I said, can you get deer skins here? And I gave deer skins to all the pujaris who were doing the pujas to sit on. They're available. So, okay. Here on Maui, we have a special type of deer, that deer that they have in South India. The Maharaja of Mysore gave the king of Hawaii, back when it was a kingdom, he gave him 2 deers from South India. And so they run wild on Maui, and they're all here on Maui. So if you want that special deer is called a Krishna deer. It's a black deer with white spots. and the skin is called a Krishnarjuna, which means the skin of a Krishna deer. And that is the actual type of deer skin you have to have. So we have it on Maui, and they have it in South India. So if you want, you can either go to Maui or South India to get it. Okay, so that's just a aside. There's a mantra. Yes, there's a mantra for Asana Shuddhi. There's a mantra for Asana Shuddhi. We will go through, we'll explain exactly how to do Asana Shuddhi. There are slightly different ways of doing it for different sampradayas, and slightly different prayogas we can explain, but not today because I have to go, unfortunately. Okay, so yeah, we'll do Asana Shuddhi some other time. Okay, because remember that these things are preliminaries, and that we have to remember that we always want to put more emphasis on the actual puja than the preliminaries. So Visvaksena Puja itself is a preliminary. So purifying the asana is even a preliminary before that. So I think before you joined, Vishwanath, I mentioned that people should have taken bath, wear fresh clothes, wear tilak. They should have remembered their Guru Parampara. They should have done Achamana twice. They should have done pranayama. They should have done Buddha Shuddhi to purify the elements in the body. All these things we have to do before we actually get to the point of doing this puja. So again, thank you for reminding us. Asana Shuddhi is another thing that we have to do. Purify the asana. Correct. Like that. Sometimes we don't need an asana. Sometimes we're standing. So puja can be done sitting or standing. In the case of standing, you may want to stand on an asana, or maybe you don't stand on an asana. It's the tendency in South India is they're not so much worried. They don't tend to do the Asana Shuddhi that much. In North India, they do more, but that's because most of this puja in North India is done sitting. But a lot of the puja in South India is done standing. So it's just up to you. It's a small thing, but it's a good thing. Yeah. We're standing on the earth, right? And we don't really, when we get up in the morning, what do we say? We say, Samudra Vasane Devi, Parvatastana Mandite, Vishnu Patni, Namastubhyam Parasparsha Chamashwame. What does it mean? It means, oh Mother Earth, the mountains and the seas are your body. It means, before I put my foot on you, please forgive me for putting my foot on you. I'm getting up in the morning. Swami, you have a question about Brahmana Bhojanam. What is it?
Yes, when you mentioned in the last class about when you do Amritopastaranamasi, that one takes some tirtam, but it's not generally tirtam, or is it that you actually have to keep tirtam with you when you're eating, so that first when you do parishechanam, you just use normal water, right? And then after that, then you sip water as Amritopastaranamasi, isn't it? It's not actually tirtam, or do you actually keep tirtam with you when eating?
Well, if you go to a Vaishnava's house and you sit for meals, they're gonna give you a tumbler of water to have, with your meal. You're gonna have water with your meal. The tumbler is there on the left and to be used with the left hand. Or you might find some people in other parts of India objecting to that, but actually the fact is you have to eat with your right hand, right? So you have to actually touch the glass with the left hand, because once you touch the food and touch your mouth with your right hand, you can't touch the cup, or you'll contaminate the cup. So your left hand has to be used for the cup, and then pour water into the mouth. So that tumbler with water, you can use that water for doing parisechanam and doing apohastanam. But when you go to a Vaishnava's house, yes, they're going to go to their altar, their temple room, or their puja room, or their koil alwar, it's called, and they're going to bring the tirtha. They're going to bring actual tirtha from the aradhana, from the worship, and they're going to give you that to sip before taking food. Yeah. I'm not sure whether you use that. You can use that to sprinkle the food also, but probably. But I don't see anything wrong with that. But definitely for sipping, you're going to use tirtha, I mean charnamrita from the house. Yeah. So, I mean, whenever you eat, you're eating prasadam. And in order to make prasadam, you have to offer bhoga to God, right? So that means you've done the puja. That means you've got the charnamrita, you've got the tirtha from the snanasana, from offering the bath to him. So then you use that when you eat. Actually, I'm going to continue that. I'm going to say in the Ahobala Mat Anikam, it speaks about using the argya that the Lord used as your argya to sprinkle around the food and do a parisecham and everything. Okay, so in the Ahobala Mat Anikam, it suggests that you keep different different pelas, different visarjana pots for the different items that you offer to the Lord. So offer argya, put it in an argya, throw out. Offer padya, put it in a padya, throw out. Offer achamana, put it in an achamana, throw out. Offer shnana, and that goes in the shnana, throw out. So there's a possibility to use all these different liquids, and not normally you go to a temple and after the puja is finished, they merge all, they throw it all in the throw out pot, and then they the pela, the visarjaniya, and then they take a big scoop of that up and go around and give everybody the tirtha. But if you want to be more precise, you use different liquids that have been thrown out into different throw-out pots for different purposes. So that's in the Ahobala Mat Anikam. I don't think a lot of people do that.
So this is what I wanted to do it in a practical way, like if you want to practice it at home. If you just use a panchapatra with normal water, you can just do it like that, isn't it? And you don't have to have tirtham with you. Of course, if you go to a Sri Vaishnava's home and they serve you tirtham, like I was looking in that Ramanuja movie, how on the life of Ramanuja, when he would eat, then the wife would serve the tirtham. So he would do the parishechanam,
Yeah.
and then he would place his palm over the rice, open, and then she would place the tirtham in his hand.
Right.
Then he would take the tirtham, and
Right.
then he would do the offerings to the prana, etc.
Right.
Like that, very quickly.
Right.
So but I was just thinking, if we want to do it on a practical basis, say we go to do some puja for someone and we are being fed like brahmanas, that we should practice it like that with just an achman cup to make it simple, isn't it?
There's a whole system of Brahmana Bhojanam and Sri Vaishnava Brahmana Bhojanam, and how you should eat, and what you should, Wadagalais and Tengalais set up the plate differently. So one side puts the rice on first, one side puts the vegetables on the plate first, because they don't give you a plate with everything on it. You sit down, they put a leaf in front of you. Right, the leaf has to be turned in a certain way. Then you have to have water. You take water from the tumbler, you put it in your right hand, you sprinkle it on the leaf, right? You wash it off the leaf with your right hand, right? Then they come along and they put salt and pickle down first. Then according to whether they're Tengalais or Wadagalais, they're going to put either rice or the curries down first. Right, then they come along and they're going to put ghee. Somebody's going to come with a little pot of ghee and put a little bit of ghee on the rice. And you're supposed to offer the ghee on the rice before you do everything else, right? And then you're not supposed to offer the ghee later on. If you can't call somebody halfway through the meal and say, hey, pour some more ghee on my meal here. You're supposed to put a little ghee on the rice, and you mix the ghee in the rice, right? Because when you do the pranahutis, right, it has to be not just rice, but it has to be rice with ghee. Because when we offer ahuti, when we offer homa, we're offering grains and ghee in the fire. So it has to be rice with ghee, and also eating rice without ghee is not considered good. Yeah, and so there's a whole system, and what you eat first and what you eat second, what you eat last, how you eat it, how they serve it, so then they come along after they put the ghee and they come along with the tirtha, and they're gonna, you have to take the tirtha. You do the parisechanam, take the tirtha. You have to actually, the left hand has to be the smartest. Maybe not everybody does this, but you have to put 2 or 3 fingers holding on the left hand, holding the plate down. Excuse me, holding the plate down while you sip the tirtha, and then you have to also wash the left hand after you do that. And anyway, it's very, to do it properly. It's a whole complicated thing if you want to do it very orthodox way.
Yeah, I saw that when you sent that video on YouTube about Brahmana Bhojam, as it was a smarta, he kept his left middle finger holding the leaf plate down. But that Vaishnavas don't have to do that. It's just the basic simple thing, parisechanam, then sip water, and then do the pranahuti, eat, and then do the sipping of the water again, and then finish. But the part about Sri Govindaya Namaha. Now, when I do offer the deity food, I also offer Sri Govindaya Swaha. Is that how it is done, or is just only Sri Govindaya Namaha?
I don't know if I've ever seen that in a prayoga, Sri Govindaya Swaha. It's just the prana. It's a Om Pranaya Swaha, Om Apanaya Swaha, Om Dhyanaya Swaha, Om Mudanaya Swaha, Om Samanaya Swaha, Om Brahmanima Amritatvaya.
Okay, and then
and that's when you offer to the deity, and otherwise you're saying Sri Govindaya Namaha.
Okay, so if you're eating,
and also Sri Vaishnavas are doing it like this with this Grasa Mudra. Rasa Mudra. Right?
Yes, to offer to the deity.
Mm-hmm. But the smartas, they have 5. They do Pranaya Swaha, Mapanaya Swaha, Om Dhyanaya Swaha. Om Mudanaya Swaha, Om Samanaya Swaha. Om Brahmani.
Yeah, I also do that. You showed me,
They have 5 different mudras. That in Hari Bhakti Vilas they mention the 5 mudras.
Yes, the pran mudras.
Yes, it's like this. It's like this. Hang on. Prana, Apana, Dhyana, Udana, Samana. Okay.
So perfect. So just Sri Govindaya Namaha. So when you're taking prasad, then Vaishnavas will say Sri Govindaya Namaha.
Sri Govindaya.
Okay. Perfect.